What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are actually new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, share it. Sharing is absolute caring. Two guests are back. No, they don't need no introduction. But in case you are new to the channel, Revolution and Revelation, big collaboration here. The Revelator, and we have the militant philosopher, K to the M, Kenneth Murray, up in the house. Say what's up to the fans, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us, guys. We love being on here, chatting it up with you guys, and
riveting debates. Riveting debates. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Riveting, very riveting.
Right. Always a pleasure. So Chris. All right, so let's get right into this. This is going to be about Chris Doyle today, and he resigns amid backlash for racist remarks from his past. Am I right about that, Berick?
Oh, yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, take us off on this one, man. I'm gonna get everybody's input on this, and then I'm gonna chime in last on this.
I bet you will. All right, well, listen, we're going to start this off with Chris Doyle. Now, Chris Doyle is an ex-football player, is an ex-strength and conditioning coach at the Iowa University. He was there from 99 to 2020. So he had a long stay there. Now, at that location, Iowa University has put out a lot of great offensive linemen who's produced very well in the NFL. They will thank Mr. Doyle for that. Having said that, the majority of the players that came out of Iowa that played offensive linemen were white offensive linemen. Now, he resigned. He was basically hired by Jacksonville Jaguars. He was hired by Urban Meyer, who took over as the head coach and general manager, which is his first stint in the NFL. He's always coached in the college ranks. And he brought this gentleman with him. So now, Mr. Doyle, upon being hired by Jacksonville, soon as the word got out, you can't hire this man because former black players who played at Iowa University said that they were mistreated, they were bullied, and there were racial comments and racial behavior toward them.
How long ago was this, Berick? Those comments were he was.
This was during the time of his employment at Iowa. Remember, He was at Iowa from 99 to 2020. He left Iowa because he started feeling the heat of a lot of these complaints that were coming from former and current black players at Iowa University. So by the time he got hired by Jacksonville, he decided to resign. All right? The Fritz Pollard Alliance issued a strong statement. If you continue to keep this man on, it's a failure of leadership of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Considering the way NFL is still trying hard to mend and strengthen their relations with black NFL players, the NFL has failed to do so. And then by hiring or allowing this gentleman to take a job in the NFL, makes the NFL extremely worse from what it is now with their relations with black players.
What about second chances, though? I mean, I hear a lot of this over here, the cancel culture. You want to give this guy a second chance to prove himself. Who knows what he said in the interview in terms of actually getting this job, in a sense, though. Maybe he could.
Well, he got this job. He got this job because he's extremely knowledgeable. Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer known this man for the last 20 some odd years. So he hired him based on his work ethic. Now, Urban Meyer is saying, I have no idea what was going on with him and how he handles things.
Yeah, I heard that interview. And Urban Meyer was actually extremely convinced that he's actually not a racist, and he had no knowledge in a sense. Though he vetted him.
Of course, he's gonna say that. Of course, he's gonna say
that. But listen, we actually see this in the a lot of people can come to an interview and look really, really good, and that's why they have probationary periods on jobs here. Because people can actually put on a true act, and 5, 6, 7, 8 months later, a year later, your true colors the real you actually starts coming out over here. So who knows what Chris Doyle actually said to him?
Well, that's the whole thing. There was no releasing of statements based on the players. But when you have a bevy of players coming out over a long period of time, and they're all black former players, current black players at that university, there's no way you can ignore it anymore. No way. So at this point in time, once it starts to heat up, he goes and talks to Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer just gets his job as a head coach and GM and says, well, I'll bring you aboard. Look at how this thing played itself out. You're getting all these reports, and then your boy takes you out and gives you a hiring. But what they didn't understand was those reports was going to leak out of Iowa City, Iowa, and land in Jacksonville. And when it landed in Jacksonville, well, it was too much to cover up. And then once the whole NFL world heard about it, he had to resign. He had no other choice to resign. So with the relations between the NFL and their black players, and right now they're still not doing well, you're going to hire this gentleman and keep him there? That's a major problem. So.
All right, Kenneth, your take?
Well, Chris Doyle's behavior is not shocking. There are too many racial disparities. There's too many racial problems in Iowa football program. The black players have been treated unfairly for far too long. Now, Chris Doyle was fired in June 2020. Let me be clear. White supremacy is an ideology that has killed more Americans than any other terroristic ideology. In the history of America, white supremacy is considered to be a hoax, something that is made up. White supremacy is not a hoax. Racial justice does not exist in America. This country has documented their treachery against black people, and they expect black people to forget about it and just move on. Now, regardless of who is leading the country, it is the citizens of this country that must eradicate white supremacy, so citizens like Mr. Chris Doyle would be stopped at the door. Okay? But here's the clue, and here's the thing that really boggled my mind about this whole thing. If he did this to black players, what did he do to white players? Can you imagine what he did to white players? And they didn't say anything. So I'm not shocked by this. I'm only shocked at the fact that people are, oh my God, I can't believe that he did this. No, racism, white supremacy does this and more.
See truth. Good look. Yes, very, very well. Very true. See truth. What do you say?
And look, there are like 5 bullet points here about Chris Doyle that shouldn't sit well with anybody, especially black men that are on this panel right now and black people all over the country.
Yep.
The fact that, number one, he's made racial comments. Not only did he make racial comments, but so did his assistant coaches. Surprise, surprise. And when you hear about where it was, Iowa.
That's right. Iowa. That's right.
You got to say that Iowa's probably the whitest state in the whole damn country.
That's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
And he bullied not just the black, well, you can only imagine what he said to the black players. And I'm sure the N-word was said multiple times, millions of times. But he also, according to his ESPN article, there was one white player. He was an offensive lineman, right?
That's right.
I believe this guy's name, this is his last name, is Kallenberger. Now, when you hear the name Kallenberger, now you're probably going to be thinking one of two things. Now, either he's maybe a descendant of maybe Germans, or he could be, you know, maybe his family also could be Jewish, or it could be a little bit of both. Maybe not a little bit of both. Maybe it's both. Let's put it this way, right? Now, when it comes to black people complaining, when it comes to black people standing up themselves, when it comes to stuff like this, we don't know what we're talking about. We're imagining it's all in our heads. But when someone who might be Jewish might have been offended by this, now we've got to do something about it. I know I'm taking a topic off topic for a second. Look at the Gina Carano situation.
Oh man.
Right?
Okay.
Now, I gotta tell you this. Before I even started watching Disney Plus and The Mandalorian, I never heard of this chick. I never knew who the fuck this chick was.
She's an ex-MMA fighter.
Never knew who she was. Didn't give a shit.
Right.
Right? But as soon and I heard for years this chick was mouthing off about black people, right?
That's right.
But as soon as she says something outlandish, and not to say that the things that she said about black people weren't outlandish, because it was, but when you say something like, you know, I forget exactly, like if you were wearing a mask is like being in a Jewish concentration camp. You know the Jews are gonna basically come down on her like a freaking force of nature.
She touched the political third rail. That was it.
She sure did. She sure did. But notice that when it comes to black people standing up for themselves in sports, right? They're telling them, hey, don't worry about it. There's nothing to see here. It's all in your head. But as soon as you offend a Jewish person, oh my God, we gotta do something about it right now. That's what Disney did.
Yep.
That's exactly what Disney did.
Yep.
Exactly what Disney did.
Very true. Very true.
And they had to take the Fritz Pollard Alliance to basically tell this, to tell the Jacksonville Jaguars, listen, I know you got to imagine the conversation has been that had to have been said, off camera with the George Floyd situation happening and all the protests that happened after it, and you're gonna hire a blatant racist in this organization. See, we got another problem here. We got a good old boy network going on over here. We got Urban Meyer, who knew this motherfucker for 20 fucking years, and he still decided that he was gonna hire him. Said, hell with it. Hell with it. Now, you know what? I know this guy. No, he said he bettered him, but you know what? You know what that really meant? That meant that, you know what? I don't care what anybody says. I knew this guy for 20 years, and look at this way. If you know a person for 20 years, you're not going to just deal with them just on the football field. You're going to also be inviting them to your house. You're going to be social with the guy. You're going to be talking, you're going to be talking a whole lot of mess. You're going to be talking about the players, whatever the case might be. You're going to be talking about a whole lot of shit.
So what you're saying, Revelator, birds of a feather flock together.
You're damn right it does.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, guys, these coaches, they share the same rooms on the road. They share the same they're in the same cars. They are connected quite a bit because the communication is so key in football. And so if anything's going on with a player, whether it's a hangnail versus them having mental issues, man, each coach must know about it. So yes, knowing this man for 20 years, speaking to him on the phone, the work. So who knows how personal these guys go back. Obviously that hasn't been mentioned publicly, but they have definitely known each other 20 years professionally, which means they also hung out away from the job. So yeah, this man definitely, Urban Meyer was definitely fully aware of what Chris Doyle was about, his coaching style, his ways, and the way in which he handled his players. And with all that being said, to still be able to hire this man and then go out publicly and defend the hiring, because you're not just defending him, you're defending yourself, Urban Meyer, because you know you made a mistake hiring this man. All right, let
me throw my 2 cents in here, or my 5 cents in.
Yeah, but I just want to say that you're saying that you hired this man, and now you're going to tell me you don't have any idea this man.
I think he knew. I think Urban Meyer actually probably known. I mean, they had dinner together, and they 20 years. I mean, you're gonna know how I, particularly Berick, you and I, we've been boys for a long time, and you know how I feel towards certain cultures and certain races and music and a lot of other things in a sense. So Urban Meyer definitely knew this too. But my thing is it black people they don't like, or black culture that they don't like in terms of what we see now? Because we see black doctors that make it, we see black lawyers that make it, and they don't want to be around the niggerish ways and stuff like that. They move out of these black communities when they make it into white neighborhoods and stuff like that to get away from. No, I'm just throwing a different perspective in there. I'm actually my question. This is for Kenneth. Is it black people or black culture? Because we see black people here that don't like other black people.
Well, first of all, you use a term that is not correct. You said niggerish ways. Black people are not niggers. That's number one.
Well, I'm saying the hood stuff, the gang stuff, and stuff like that. You know,
black people are not niggers. That's number one. I've said this on your show, and I'll say it again. A goat is never innocent when the judge is the lion. Okay? Now let me be very, very clear. I said it once, and I'll say it again. Anyone who is unwilling to confront the reality of white supremacy will be condemned to remain a slave. Where there is oppression, there will be resistance. The policies of white supremacy have led to the destruction of the black family. Okay? In our community, we do the best that we can based on what the system of white supremacy keeps taking away.
I think you and I were having a private conversation, and you said that we got to start. Well, when that girl got jumped outside the liquor store, you told me that we got to start looking at ourselves in a sense, though.
What I said was,
you don't think white people see that stuff, man?
Well, I don't care about white people.
No, I'm just saying you don't. That's not the answer I'm looking for. That's not the answer I'm looking for.
That's the answer that
you don't think white people actually see that. I mean, there's certain neighborhoods you walk into with the wrong hat on, you're gonna get jumped. You're gonna get blasted.
And what I said was, we as a people must look inside of ourselves to understand that wrong behavior is wrong behavior. I don't care about what white people think about our community because they are the one who caused the problems in our community.
Okay, so you say your meth head junkie caused black people.
Where did he get the meth at? Black people don't make meth. Where did it come from, sir?
But white people are mainly on that shit, man. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't care about white people. Okay? I don't care about white people. Where did it come from, sir?
It's suffering blowback right now is what it is.
Well, a lot of these drugs come from from the Golden Triangle and Vietnam.
Sir, I can guarantee
the question Afghanistan has.
I can guarantee you, regardless of where it comes from, the number one drug dealer is the pharmaceutical community. They are the drug dealers. Let's be clear, okay? They are the one who are peddling drugs.
You're still evading my question. Is it black culture or black people that these people are frowning upon? Because, like, how is it that black people who become doctors? Hold on. Black people that become doctors, lawyers, ball players, rappers, they make it and they leave the black community and don't contribute in any way back to the black communities. So is it black culture or is it black people in a sense?
You cannot separate black culture from black people. That's number one.
I'm talking about the young cats. I mean, the rap culture and stuff.
You asked the question and I answered it. You can't separate black culture from black people. Like I said on another show that we did, this is about morals and ethics. We have to begin the process of looking at our people and begin the process of saying point blank, without everything that we're going through, we have to look inward and say that behavior is wrong and it has to be addressed. We can't sit back and say beating up a 70-year-old black woman is a good thing. No, we can't sit back and say that children being pregnant at 13 is a good thing. No, we have to begin to look at our community and we have to begin the process of saying this much. Non-white people must not rely on the system of white supremacy. Politically, we must deal with white supremacy, the white elite, the white media, all the same way. We have to chop off their head and keep it moving. We can't be apologists. We have to go after them at the jugular. They are the problem.
So, all right. I mean, I guess black people are causing. I mean, white people are causing all these black on black murders, and that's.
Let me explain something to you, sir. Black people don't make guns.
But they're not causing you to actually go out there and kill your brother. You know what I'm saying? over stupid things.
How is it that there are white people who can sue the gun makers, manufacturers?
You know that's all nonsense. That's all nonsense, Kenneth. You know that's all nonsense because you got an elite that's
nonsense,
Second Amendment.
White people who have gotten their loved ones killed have not filed charges against the gun individuals that made these guns, Smith and Wesson, and the rest of those individuals. Come on, that's not nonsense.
All right, so you can use a car. You can use a car as a weapon too, Kenneth. You know? You can use a car as a weapon. You can use a car as a weapon too, and that can do more damage than a gun can do. I can go right to 34th Street and 6th Avenue with my car and take out 40, 50 people at one time.
Stop apologizing for white people. They are the problem.
Think about who are the ones that actually created the ghettos. It wasn't black people that created them. They didn't just come out of thin air. No, these came about because of redlining and all the laws that the federal government created to stop black people from obtaining wealth. Because the bottom line here is when you're talking about the 30s, the 40s, the 50s.
I wasn't revelated. You know what caused the destruction of the black people? It wasn't in the 30s. It wasn't in the 40s. It was that crack epidemic.
You're wrong, sir.
Talking about this,
and we're still paying the price for that
You're
today.
wrong.
What?
You're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. We're still paying. You know how many babies that were born? There was babies that were born.
One second, hold on. Revelator, can you talk about the ethos, please?
The bottom line here is because our ancestors were ripped away from Africa. We didn't have
by who though? By the white man or by other black people?
Well, unfortunately, it was by Africans, but still, white people then actually capitalized on the labor, the free labor that they got that built this country in the first place, and all of the damage that they've done to black people, Jim Crow laws, redlining, crack epidemic, everything that's happened since we've been in this country.
No, well, this country wasn't really. If you look at it, was built in like 1880s. All the infrastructure,
sir, this
by
country,
black people,
buildings and stuff like that.
Country
The
was
trolleys,
built by people.
That was all. That was way after slavery.
Sir, this country was built by black people. The White House was built by black people, sir.
I'm talking about the main infrastructure, your interstates, your rails, airports, and stuff like that. All that came way after slavery. So how are you going to say they?
Can I ask you a question? Do you secretly wish you were white?
No, I like who I am. I like who I am. I'm being pragmatic, man. You saying that black people built this country, and I'm telling you that's bullshit right there. That's bullshit.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have the infrastructure and the roads without that.
Listen, I'm a history.
That was built before
I'm not
that.
only just a basketball analyst. I'm a history.
You wouldn't have the infrastructure and all that without the preliminary building
that happened. 1880s and up.
Right.
The Brooklyn Bridge was like built in like the 1880s, way after slavery.
Yeah, but the country was built way before
in 1865.
Preliminary building. Let's put it this way: if they didn't have black people to build this country for them, what do you think what do you think they would have done by themselves? Would they have done that by themselves? Because they shouldn't. They sure as hell wouldn't have.
What about?
Didn't do it themselves back in the slavery days.
Revelator, there's a lot of races that came to this country: the Italians, the Jewish people,
right?
Spanish people.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And what are the ethnic?
They all everybody collectively built, man. I mean,
but guess what?
Those famous paintings of the Empire State Building.
Listen to me.
People are actually sitting on the beam.
This country.
There's white people up there.
They came to this country as immigrants. We came to this country as slaves. And I don't know what history book you are reading, but we came to this country as product.
All right,
we didn't have a choice.
Listen, are you glad that you're here, or you're back in the continent of Africa?
What?
No, I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be here.
We're all dealing with the cesspool.
Africa got problems, man.
Yeah, but we're not in Africa. We're not in Africa.
No, I'm saying, are you glad? Are you glad that you're here? Because hundreds of millions of people are trying to get here.
Well, that's just because the American government's messed up their economy. So we've had a discussion about that.
No, the International Monetary Fund actually messed up their economies, not the American.
And who makes up the International Monetary Fund?
The United States is the muscle. They're not
And
the international
who are
monitors,
the
right?
ones that are ruling it? What
Oh, well, we
phenotype
know.
are
We
the
already know who
ones?
that is. The Rothschild family. We know that.
And who are they? What are they?
They're
Caucasians, right?
Caucasians, yes.
Exactly.
But you're
Exactly.
telling me, all right, Revelator, are you telling me that your white meth head is causing black people to kill each other in a sense, though? Because I don't get it. You say, because Kenneth says that all white people are the problem.
The white
I'm
meth
trying to
head-
figure out, is the white meth head or the white trailer park trash causing black people not to have aspirations and goals or anything like that, and
You are serious with your
society.
You are
the
serious
white
with your
meth head
stance.
is
Let's say
nothing
that.
is nothing but a servant to the white elite. So if you're gonna separate the white people, you gotta talk about the white elite. Those are the ones that are causing the problems.
Ah, all right. So there you go, Kenneth. Yeah, your boy answered your own question.
But
It's not all white people that are, and I agree with Revelator there. It's a small group of white people, and it's true, that's causing a lot of problems in the black communities.
But unfortunately, they will do their master's bidding because they don't have the willpower themselves to resist. If it wasn't for these white elites and these powerful people that gave them the status of, listen, we're gonna treat you better than the Negroes. You know what? You may be a white meth head, you might be white trailer park trash, but you know what? You're still better than the Negro. So we're gonna give you these rights.
I promise you, Revelator, they don't feel like that, man. They feel like garbage. They
And of course, and I want to be
any
very
other junkie.
He says he promised us because you see, Rasheed White is the voice for white people. Okay,
No, I'm the voice of logic, you know, and
talk to him personally, and Rasheed White can tell us what they're thinking. So, Mr. White, though your last name is White and you are not, I want to ask you this question: where do you think all of our problems in the urban community stem from?
It starts from our behavior, in a sense, though.
Okay, it starts from our behavior.
A lot of it is behavior based. We don't have to go and shoot each other and over stupid beefs. I mean, most of the stuff is over beefs, gang. I mean,
let me ask you this question: do you feel that the white community has an obligation to actually step in and help the black communities? You're taking too long.
Nah, we gotta help ourselves, man.
So in essence, what you're saying is that white people bear no responsibility of what's going on in the black communities.
No, man, because listen, I grew up in the crack epidemic. Listen, hold on. I grew up in the crack epidemic, and I seen what crack did to people. I said, yo, damn, I don't want to look like that.
So you're saying that white people bear no responsibility, even though the CIA dumped drugs into the black community. That's bear
the question. Exactly. How do these drugs get into our neighborhood?
In the ghettos in the first place, because of
how do the guns get into our neighborhoods? How about that?
We don't got to go and shoot each other. That's what I'm saying. We don't got nobody. The white man is not making you pull that trigger, though.
But the white man actually created the ghettos. They're the ones that prevented us.
I lived in the ghetto. I lived in the hood, Revelator. I lived in the hood. I decided not to actually, join gangs and sell drugs and stuff like that. I made a conscious choice.
We're talking about the pathology of how the ghettos came to be. These ghettos didn't just come out. But
I'm saying I grew up with a single moms. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the ghetto, and I saw what drugs did to people with alcohol. I didn't want to be like old Betsy. Oh, now Mount Betsy. I didn't want to be like
those are choices.
Hey, there you go, Berick.
I
There
understand.
you go. Choices.
But we're talking about how, once again, how did these ghettos come into existence? They didn't come to existence because of black people. We were forced into these ghettos because we couldn't, because our ancestors tried to buy houses, and they weren't allowed to buy houses in the suburbs. The federal government prevented black people from participating in wealth generation.
All right, but it's like that in certain Indian neighborhoods.
Yeah, you go again.
I'm talking about
You know what I'm
that.
saying? You can't even go into
There you go.
Queens.
The bottom line
They
is
won't even
that-
sell you a house in Queens. It's all Indians around about a 3 or 4 mile square radius.
Jamaica and Richmond Hill.
Yeah, they won't let even whites. There's no whites. They don't want whites moving in there. You're not Indian. The realtors will not actually sell you the houses.
Right. And don't you also think that when it comes to fighting on our behalf or fighting with us or fighting for us, you think these Indians would join us? Actually, they haven't joined us in anything.
No, they won't.
No, they won't.
Exactly.
We're gonna wrap this up. It's past this little guy's bedtime. Way past him. I gotta get him to bed, man. If I don't go to sleep, he won't go to bed. Listen, if you like the video, please like, comment,
Smash the button. Smash the like button.
smash that like button. Definitely subscribe to the Revolution and Revelation, and it's riveting stuff there, man. Kenneth Murray, I think he's the next Malcolm X, man. You know, I mean, the stuff that he be saying is just like really profound, man. It's really powerful stuff, man. Powerful stuff, and stuff that actually really think. And yeah, definitely the link will be in the description for their show. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. This is a really good debate over here.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah,
Peace.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right,
Pleasure being here with you guys.
no problem.
We're getting real soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.